Hi there, it's Fred and Fred. Thanks for tuning in to Guitar Media, and welcome to Guitar Media's Classic Vibe video. We're here today to take a look at this 2021 Squire 50's Classic Vibe and two-tone sunburst. This guitar was relicked at some point, and while it does seem to have the appearance of the 1954 Stratocaster, there's some differences in that the original Stratocaster had an ash body, and this guitar is said to have a NATO wood body. And then the other thing is, the original Stratocaster had a 7¼ inch fingerboard radius, whereas they changed it to 9½ inch radius for the Squire Classic Vibe 50 series. So as we've noted the wood for the body and the fingerboard radius to be different from the 54 Stratocaster, we also noticed that they added the 5-way switch to the Squire 50's Classic Vibe Stratocaster, and of course the original Stratocasters would have come in 1954 with a 3-way pickup selector switch. Also, these frets are a little more generous. They are the narrow tall frets, and the original 54 Stratocaster would have had slightly smaller lower frets originally coming from the factory. This guitar is also manufactured in Indonesia, and it does have the beautiful one-piece neck, and that is something that we really appreciate from the Squire Classic Vibe series that is made in Indonesia. And really this is a huge advantage, in my opinion, over rosewood fingerboard models or other models that are made in China, because without the cap on the fingerboard, it being an entirely solid one piece of maple, it definitely, you can tell by the sound. It really does carry the sound. And then the finish is another thing that's different. These have the gloss polyurethane finish, whereas the original 1954 Stratocaster would have had a nitrocellulose finish. Weighing in at 8 pounds, 7 ounces, I've got 6.4K ohms for the bridge pickup on my meter and 6K ohms for the middle position pickup on my meter. Unfortunately, the neck pickup does have an open, and I believe that when they relic the guitar, it was the rubbing on the pickup cover that caused the misconnection. And just eventually, this pickup cover rubbing on the copper wire, eventually, I believe that's what caused the misconnection. So I have to take it apart and see if we can get it back up and running. Today we start off by plugging this baby straight into the 1970 Marshall Super PA amp. Our speakers are the 1969 Celestion T1217s. Our close microphone at 20 inches is the Sennheiser E835. And the room microphone is the Nady RSM4 ribbon microphone on top of the cabinet. A little later in the video, we switch over to the Fender 140 amp. And we change over to the Celestion Sidewinder 15-inch drivers at 250 watts RMS using the same microphones. We also make use of the Worm electro harmonics analog 24-volt modulation effect as well as the Jim Dunlop original Crybaby. On the cleaner recordings with the Fender 140 amp, we use the Professional Tube Preamplifier Compressor by Art, the Art Tube Pack. And we also notice that these pickups are a little hot and definitely reminiscent of the Fender X1 pickups that were in the late 70s, with nice sustain and definitely a strong mid-range, but not like the 50s. So not the scoop sound, more of the hump mid-range sound of the pickups of the 60s. So our conclusion here is, if you're looking for authentic Fender tones with a very straightforward rock and roll approach, then look no further. This is a good choice. However, if you're a die-hard low output tone fan, you like the sound of low output pickups, or maybe just more of a scooped sound, less mid-range, more bass and more treble, this might not be for you. And as always, we'd love to hear from you. Please let us know your thoughts and experiences with Squire Classic Vibe Stratocasters in the comments below. Also, if you have any recommendations or suggestions for budget Stratocasters, or any Stratocaster for that matter, we always love to hear from you. Please give us your input. If you'd like to support the channel or see some of our videos ranking higher in the Google and YouTube search engines, please like, comment, and subscribe, as this is absolutely free and the best way to support the channel. If you'd like to see more of our videos, we have several YouTube channels, including Guitar Media, Guitar Media 2, Guitar Media 3, Music Media, and the EDM Fred Sweet channel, where you can search and find many more of our videos. Thanks for watching, and check our channel for our latest videos.
Wow.